Okay, so we saw what last time where I extrude this little hole into my object. What if I've decided I've made a mistake? What if I've decided that that should have been an extrude upwards and I've put the circle in the wrong spot? How do I change it? Well, what you need to do is you come over to the tree over the side, and if you move your mouse over these little extrusions we've done, you can see what we have created. So in my first step at extrusion 1 I made the rectangle, and in my second extrusion I made the cylinder, the hole, and this is the one I made a mistake on. It should have come upwards instead of downwards. If I right click on that extrusion and then come down somewhere in the middle here, you can see edit sketch and edit feature. The feature is the extrusion, so that's what I want to fix. So if I go edit feature, it brings this box back up again. Now that's the extrusion box, remember? So we've seen that before. And I accidentally pressed cut instead of the solid. So I'm going to press solid again and turn it back in. Now you can see that it's still wrong because it's pointed downwards still, and I wanted it pointed upwards. Now I can change the direction that the extrusions go using these buttons underneath for the distance. This one here makes it point upwards, this one makes it point downwards. Now pointing downwards is what it needs to do the cut. So when I changed it from cut to back to solid, it still pointed downwards because that's how it was cutting. I wanted to change it to point upwards. This one here is also interesting because it goes both directions at the same time, but the total is still 5, so it only goes half of 5 upwards and half of 5 downwards. Not really useful for what we're doing here, but it can be useful sometimes. But this is the button, so we wanted to move our extrusion and make it back into a solid. Alright, so, but I still wanted to move it across a bit because it's in the wrong spot. So if I right click back over here on extrusion, and this time say edit sketch, and we come back to where I was originally with all my dimensions, and it's very easy to move this across a little bit. All I do is double click on my dimension and change that to 15, and it moves, and then we finish sketch and the solid moves too. Now that's how you edit sketches. There is one big mistake that I see students doing all the time. I'm going to quickly do a nice rough sketch here. So I see students draw something like this. They draw a random shape using lines and it's not finished, but they finish the sketch anyway. Then they try to extrude it. Inventor gets confused because it can't find a shape to extrude. So what they decide to do is, oh, there's a bit missing, I need to add it back in. Students, instead of editing that sketch, will click start new sketch and then make a new one and add a line in here, and they'll try to guess where the line needs to go, and they'll go, that looks right, I'll extrude that. Oh, it still doesn't work, why doesn't it work? And they'll end up trying again, putting a new sketch, drawing another line, still doesn't work, add a sketch, draw another line. They'll end up with 20 odd sketches down here, and not realizing that they've made one little mistake. If I hold the mouse over there, you can see the sketch changes, and you can see which sketch does what. Now Inventor, when it does an extrusion, only looks at one sketch at a time. It doesn't glue these two sketches together. So even though this shape looks solid, looks like it can make a solid shape, Inventor only ever sees that, or it only ever sees that. So it can't make a solid shape out of them. What we need to do is delete this mistake that we put in. There we go, it's gone. And on this sketch, right click, edit sketch. Then add the line that we were missing from there to there. Finish sketch. Now we can extrude. So if you make a mistake and you're missing a line, don't add a new sketch, edit the sketch where you first had all your lines together, because that's the only way Inventor will understand how to do it. Okay? Okay.